when you're looking at assets that are superior, there has to be a level of privacy that people can maintain and own the asset and store it properly with a level of security and privacy also. A level of security and privacy, I think, is something that we all need right now, especially in a world there's a lot of breaches in data privacy. There's no such thing as the best investment. However, there are quantitative measures also for you to determine which investments are game changing, which asset classes are more superior than the other. So in this video, I want to give you 10 things to look at for you to know if this asset class is something that's amazing, game changing, something that will be built to last. Because at the end of the day, when you invest, you're not just in it for the short term, you're in it because what you are putting cash on is something that you know will do very, very well over the long term. It's not something that's guaranteed, it's not something that you can predict, but by the merits of that particular asset class, you could figure out that it's far superior than everything else out there. So number one, you want an asset that's decentralized, that there's no central authority that has power over it, that it's immune to manipulation, it's immune to censorship. Those are one of the hallmarks of an amazing investment because we may not be able to predict how things will go in the future. However, because if you own an asset that's decentralized, you hold the keys to your own future. Number two, it's superior if it's borderless, something that's not restricted by any traditional means. Number three, that asset has to be digital. There are assets also because when times are bad, people go into them because they're a flight to safety. However, if they're not digital, all of the properties that you get from it, you won't be able also to maximize it to its fullest extent. Since it's digital, it's convenient and easy to use. It doesn't mean much if you have an amazing asset but you can't actually use it, you can't actually swap it, or no one can actually buy it from you, or you can't transmit it from Manila to LA to LA to London to Dubai in a very, very fast manner. The name of the game right now for assets that will do very, very well over the long term, it has to be digital. Next, the asset should use encryption and should have a high degree of security in order for it to be protected against theft. A lot of assets also, you have vaults, you have guards, you have fences to help protect it. What will make it hold also its value is if you actually own it still over a period of time. Think about it. In traditional means before, people, governments, countries, years ago, hundreds of years ago, they fought over land, over minerals. The value of that asset also is for people, investors, having the ability to protect it. Since we're talking about digital assets as well, it has to be encrypted, it has to be secure so that whoever's owning it and keeping it would have a layer of security, a buffer that no matter what happens, they have a chance to safeguard their asset should there be any threats against it. It has to be limited in supply, it has to be scarce. The scarcer it is, the better. The reason why we need to invest is cash, fiat, has been printed over and over and over and over and over. Meaning, if you leave your money in cash, then it will just lose value over time. Assets that are limited because they're so scarce, it makes it more valuable over a period of time, and that's what you want and that's what you're looking for. It has to be assets like that because a lot of people need it and want it also. Its value will just increase through the years, especially our money is being printed over and over and over, thus diminishing its value. It has to be highly divisible. The more divisible it is, the higher the value would become, the easier it will be also for more people to have a piece of it. There are a lot of investments that are so amazing, but because they're not really that divisible, it will be hard for other people to be able to buy it. You can't really buy just a plot of land. You can't really buy something that's very, very small. What makes an asset superior is that even though it has gone up in value, it's something that could be subdivided into smaller units. You could sell off smaller pieces of what you have as well. Another thing to consider when you're looking at assets that are superior, there has to be a level of privacy that people can maintain and own the asset and store it properly with a level of security and privacy also. A level of security and privacy, I think, is something that we all need right now, especially in a world there's a lot of breaches in data privacy. It has to be immutable. Whatever transactions that are made in that particular investment can't be reversed. What makes an asset superior is that if you own it, you bought it, that it's there, it could be seen, and you have proof that you're the person who really owns that particular asset. Number 9 is this: it's in its early stages. If people had the ability to buy lots in Forbes Park, or people had the ability to buy lots in Boracay early on, then your upside would have been bigger. You find something that's really, really good, and a large part of the population does not know it yet, does not use it yet, or even if they've heard about it, they're not into it yet. And I think that has a large room of upside still. The ones that are mature already are very good because it gives you a level of predictability. But the upside from it isn't there anymore. What's a good investment is something that's game changing, something that's secure, something that's digital, something that's decentralized, but in a way also that it's not yet so old that you can still get a decent upside from it. And lastly, number 10 is, I think, it's growing adoption. When you look at the pieces of technology, from the telephone to the smartphones, there is a curve there that when a larger amount of users, when suddenly the scales tip and you have massive adoption. Technologies and assets that have growing adoption, I think through the years will do very, very, very well. As more people understand it, more and more people will start to use it, appreciate it, and its value would get even bigger as well. I'm not sure if you noticed it, but those 10 things that I've mentioned, from security, digitalization, decentralization, are all the characteristics of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is one of the most secure, best game-changing assets that we've ever had and ever experienced. There will be other assets that will be built, but by the time we're making this, I think Bitcoin hits and fits all of the items in the box. Those are 10 guidelines to help you find out which are asset classes, investments that will stand the test of time, that are superior up against others. Do your research, find out which assets tick the box, which are the ones that fit you in terms of risk, in terms of timeline, and in terms of what you have conviction and what you understand the most. So with that, if you have more questions, put it down below. I'll do my best to answer the questions that you guys sent. And as what I always say, I do hope that this is something that adds value to you and helps you become a bigger and better investor. Because at the end of the day, the more you know, the more information you get, the more data that you process, the better investor you will be. And the better investor you will be, the greater impact it will have in your portfolio. The greater impact it will have in your portfolio, the greater impact you create in society and the people around you. So that's it for now. If you stayed up until the end, like, share, subscribe, and smash the bell so you get updated every time we come up with new content about investing. So that's it for now. Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you.